Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for part 2 of Professor Victor Singing Eagle's amazing English Composition 1 lecture here at Sisseton, Wahpeton College. Yay! And now, your hosts, Professor Victor Singing Eagle discussing monarch butterflies. Yay! Now, because I talk too much and I keep messing up, I'm going to do this quickly. Now, as we were discussing in a previous video, I said I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by organization. And in this case, I'm going to use my butterfly pals here. Got a boy and a girl. They're holding wings. How romantic. And I was telling you that my mother and I have been raising monarch butterflies for over, well, I can't do the math, since 1980. Math. And you know that I used to be a math major, but the math killed me. So I became an anthropology PhD and an English PhD instead. But we won't go there because we don't have enough time. Now, my mother and I have been doing this since 1980. And over the years, we've noticed a marked decrease in the number of butterflies in our hometown of Mount Shasta, California. Now, we are speculating that there are 3. We're postulating, we're observing, we're hypothesizing that there are 3 main causes for this. Reason number 1, environment. Reason number 2, man-made chemicals. Reason number 3, genetic mutation. Let's talk about them some more, shall we? Let's go. Now, as I said before, this picture, we got a boy and a girl. They're healthy. They're looking pretty good. And here's a healthy daddy and his son here. The son, the caterpillars, like to eat milkweed. This is a milkweed plant here. Normal milkweed, normal male, adult, normal son here. They're looking healthy. However, like I said, we've got 3 problems that are causing the demise of these critters. Oh, I almost forgot. We got to talk about this too. Here's what they look like when they pupate. See, when the caterpillar munches away and gets bigger and bigger and fatter and fatter, oh, I can't eat anymore. He'll climb up to a leaf, or I should say a stem somewhere, hang upside down, shed his skin, and turn into this wonderful green chrysalis. And when he's ready to hatch, the chrysalis starts to get dark like that, and you can see the butterfly inside, and then, surprise! Oh, I can't make this any, but anyway, you can see it's hatching, and we got a butterfly coming out there. Isn't that cool? Anyway, I'm going to shrink this down because it's getting in my way and I'm talking too much. That's healthy. Now, like I said, we've got some problems, though, environmental issues. If you know anything about this year, 2024, we didn't get much snow, did we? Look at my hometown. This is Mount Shasta. This mountain is supposed to have snow on it 365 and a quarter days a year. It's bald! And look what happened. It got too hot. And it burned up half the town. By the way, this is Weed, California, but I don't call it Weed. This is Mount Shasta. I'm from Mount Shasta. I don't want to say I went to Weed High, which I did. Fires! Forest fires. It's so hot, everything's drying up, and the fires come and burn up all the plants, burn up the baby caterpillars, and if the adults, if they don't get out of the way. Now, there's our one problem, environmental. Second is chemical. Chemical problems. We used to have lots of snow. Now it's hit or miss, as they say. But if it does hit, the fools out there will put salt on the road to melt the salt, which of course is understandable, but it also kills the plants on the side of the road. And that's not good. And the ones that do survive get all mutated. We'll talk about that in a minute too, because I'm going too slow. The other problem, human, man-made, agricultural, herbicides, pesticides, and fertilizers. This is the chemical section. It's making the plants all mutated as well. Let's have a look at, see what the plants look like. This is a normal milkweed plant, and here is a mutated. Let me just read what I'm writing, because I'm actually writing a paper about this. My mother and I should say. As for the plants, we've been finding more and more possessing leaves mutating thus, from oblong to elliptical to lanceolate to linear to falcate. In other words, their leaves are getting thinner and thinner, ultimately becoming twisted, gnarly, curly monstrosities that look difficult for the monarch caterpillar to eat. On the stems, we see more and more fasciation, often accompanied by red or brown splotches. Now, as for the butterflies themselves, lately we have noticed that the female adult butterflies tend to be more selective on where they're going to lay their eggs. Of course, they see this nice, healthy green plant, they're going to go, oh, pretty, and lay their eggs and fly away, right? So they're going to be more picky. If they get this, they're just going to fly off and look somewhere else. However, the monarchs, which actually do lay their eggs on these plants, I can't hold it anymore. They produce what we can only call dumb mutants. Here's the genetic part. Genetic mutations, third cause. These mutated larvae will either wander off the plants and die, or they will stop eating and shrivel up. They'll go, yeah, this is nasty. Yeah, I'm not eating this, and they'll die. See? Or those that actually do make it to chrysalis stage form thus. They'll say, I'm too lazy to climb up a stem and turn into a chrysalis. They'll just pupate right on the ground. Or they'll turn into this weird looking thing. See how the caterpillar's hanging upside down, and he turns into this weird thing that starts turning these weird colors and dripping green or black slime. Or if they actually do make it to butterfly stage, they'll be missing antennae, wings, body parts, and of course they're not going to make it. So we got our three factors that are killing off the monarch butterflies, causing their numbers to drop. We got environmental factors, we got chemical factors, and genetic mutations. Got it? And this is organization that we're discussing here. What I've done is I've broken it down into three. Now, when you write your own papers, professionally or just for another teacher or for me, consider doing something similar. You could break it into threes or to fours or whatever. You can say, oh yes, my argument has three main elements, and you're going to name them, and you're going to put a paragraph for each section, or if you're writing in a big professional paper, you'll write several pages on each section. So that's what I'm doing. I got my three: environment, chemicals, genetic mutations. And I could write a pretty decent paper on each one of these and tie them all up. And I put a little bow on it and say, ding, I'm done. There's my organization. Thank you so much. And by the way, this is pretty much the end of my lecture. Thank you so much for being with me here. Hope you guys have an awesome spring break. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. That's better.